What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. All right, we're live.
We're back, and we are at an exciting new place, HNA again. Still, not again, but still Hardscape North America, Groundwork booth. We are here with the one and only, at least I'm pretty sure, the one and only Evan from Pride Hardscape.
There is only one of me, yes.
I don't know. Could be a conspiracy. There might be clones.
There might be clones.
You don't know. I believe the one and only Evan from Pride Hardscape. We are excited to have you on.
Yeah,
I feel like
welcome.
we've been talking about having you on for a while.
Yeah,
and
I
I
don't
think
know about to you, but internally we have.
internally, but also it's a lot better to do it in person. On the phone and over the phone, it's just a lot better in person to have a podcast.
Definitely.
Yes, we completely agree.
Yeah.
We like to do it in person so we can kind of just rap, talk shop, and kind of learn from you, and hopefully everybody else can as well. So I guess we'll jump in. Well, anybody that doesn't know, Evan, Pride Hardscape, he is crushing it in hardscapes, really all outdoor living.
Yeah.
Doing some awesome projects in Oregon. So if you're not familiar, check them out, Pride Hardscape. I guess we'll start with your story from the beginning. How did you get into the business, and what was that initial step into business, and what did it look like for you?
Well, originally I started in the green industry. So I've been in the industry for 23 years doing hardscape, but really I've been in the green industry for 30. I started my own landscape company at 12 years old. It was called Pride Landscape, and I sold that when I was 35. It had 140 accounts. I sold that when I was 35, and
you got a late start, I guess.
Yeah, late start. But actually, some of those accounts I had from 12. I think 20 of those accounts I had from 12 till I actually was 35.
That's insane.
So I mowed their lawns every single week, every single day. I woke up one morning, I looked at my wife, and I said, I don't want to mow any more lawns.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm done. So I didn't even get good money for my clients. I was so done that I literally just sold the equipment and I gave away the clients, which was probably not the best decision because I probably could have got some money for it. And then I took every penny, which was about $75,000 from all the equipment I sold, and I put $74,000 into hardscape equipment.
$1,000 is enough to live on. That's good.
I had no jobs lined up 6 years ago.
Oh,
I didn't have one job when I bought all that equipment lined up.
So you're very risk averse.
I'm either all in or not.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're gonna like me or don't like me. So it's it's all or nothing.
Yeah. That's almost exactly how I did it. I was mowing lawns, and I was just I did my first full backyard, and I was like, I'm not doing lawns anymore. Sold my equipment. I barely had any equipment. I think I got $5,000 for it, but gave away 40 accounts. I was just if you will just take these and just hopefully take care of these clients and take them off my hands right now, maybe I could have gotten something for them, but I was so done, just like you were.
Yeah.
I was just take care of these clients, please. And here's all their numbers, addresses, go for it.
Yeah, that's kind of the exact same thing I did. But in the long run, it was the best decision for me because I love creating art. So my background is ceramics. So I did ceramics for almost 14 years. So art to me is I love bringing natural art and everything to these hardscapes. You recently started using boulders.
Yeah.
You guys were having fun with those, right?
I mean, yeah. Part of it, yeah.
But bringing that natural element to around a sitting fireplace, it just brings a different warmness. It's not man-made. Mm-hmm. You're sitting on something that was cut out of the earth. So that's definitely one thing I like to bring into my hardscapes, but that's why I switched.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any art. I could do some cool mow lines.
Yeah.
I could make a cool circle and some mow lines, but you couldn't I couldn't bring out what I really wanted to bring out.
Yeah.
And so that's really my background. I've been in the industry now for 6 years. We've actually recently downsized from having 8 to 10 employees back to 2 employees this year. Yeah. So we scaled down hugely. We took a lot of overhead away. We've tripled our profit from 10 to 12% last year. Now we're into the 30s and 40% profit.
That's good.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I don't like to tell everybody all the numbers, but at the same time, I wanted people to know that you don't need to go big to make good money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what we've always been about as well. Keep it. There's just different ways. I feel like there used to be this idea that to start a construction company, like you take this path, you grow more crews, and like I never really bought into that. Number one, because I would be terrible at that business model and it would just all go up in flames. But there are other ways. Like you're creating a boutique business. You're doing super unique stuff. People want to hire you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We're so like me and you, we're a steakhouse. We're not a McDonald's.
Yeah.
So if they want a McDonald's, then go get a Big Mac.
Yeah.
If they want a filet mignon that's marinated and buttered and just
Nice
great,
little sauce on there.
yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
us, and that's they're questioning whether they want to pay for that. Then that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, and recently I've noticed that my bids now, I'm only getting like 2 to 10 jobs,
Yeah.
but that's okay because you're small.
Yeah.
You don't have to have work for a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my biggest transition for me this year is I like the rat race. So I like putting out fires.
Yeah.
But now I have to realize to scale back, and now my fires are making it better for my employees, making it better for myself.
Yeah. So you prefer to live in like a little bit of chaos?
A little bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't realize how similar we
yeah.
were. This is like
I think every contractor's like
oh
that.
yeah. I don't know. Most of them seem to have it like more together. They're like, no, I just want to like pay myself every week. I'm like, you don't want like any chaos of like, just scrambling at the last minute. It's so fun and exciting sometimes.
It is. It's sometimes, for sure. It's sometimes, but not all the time. And that's
No.
where it was all the time with those multiple. Like when we were doing last year, we were doing 3 $200,000 jobs at once.
Yeah.
And
That's a
I
lot.
was
Ooh.
the job manager for all 3.
Yeah.
So it just was, I worked 320 days last year.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How much is normal? I don't even know.
Like 270s.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
260s.
52 times 5. That's with no bank holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of days. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was just looking at my phone the other day, and it's sad, but I had a gap of my family and kids for like 2 years of
Yeah.
no pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it made it a lot nicer.
Yeah.
So.
So you've been doing Pride Hardscape for 6 years now?
Yeah, this is going on the 6th. When I owned my other business, I actually worked full time. I did my Pride Landscape on the weekends. I worked
Okay.
full time for a hardscape company for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
In between all that,
Okay.
Still like working.
Yeah.
that's what I was raised to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, truthfully, that's what I was raised to do. So, I that's how I got all my experience. I actually learned and screwed up on all their time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm not screwing up too much now in my business because I did it all on their time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am a hard knock life learner. I will screw up a bunch.
Yeah. I think everybody is.
Yeah.
Well, at least I am.
Yeah.
I screw up all the time, but that's what you get for taking risks and trying new things.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's really, like, your path has been interesting because you had this business experience for, I don't know, I'm not, 17 years? Wait.
No, I'm 40. So
How
I've been
the lawn care, 12 to 35 is how many? 23?
We're 28 years.
28 years. You did lawn for 23.
Yep, 23.
23 years. And then after that, you went to work for, or simultaneously, you were working for a hardscape company.
Yep.
So you learned all of that. And then, like, kind of putting both of those things together, what was, like, the biggest business transition from being, like, the landscape company to now taking this hardscape experience and putting it into Pride Hardscape? Like, what was the big shift business-wise there?
I think oh man, that's tough. I mean, I had the name.
Yeah.
So that, in my little town, that Pride name still was there. The same logo. So that was easy. Like, that part was easy. It was trying to get out of the cookie cutter patios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were getting all those jobs once we started getting going, but like, how am I going to sell the triple border, the herringbone inlay, the lighting? Like, that was my biggest struggle transitioning from the landscape to hardscape, was trying to figure out how to get better jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it just took some portfolios for one, but also I had to do some stuff kind of for free. Like, to be able to get that, like, that customer didn't want to pay an extra $2,000 for that cool inlay. Well, screw it. Let's just do it and surprise them.
Mm-hmm.
And we get that review. So that was my biggest transition. I think hard part is trying to sell the jobs. I mean, the first year of business, I went and handed out 1,000 flyers door to door. I knocked on all my rich neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And I got embarrassed because some of them were people I knew from like high school. They're like, "We're not going to hire you."
Yeah.
Because I was a crazy kid.
Yeah.
And I party a lot, dude. Like I said, either you like me or don't like me.
Yeah.
And I'm a small town, but like that was the hard part, I guess. And like that really made me, when I went to hand out those flyers, I told someone the other day, they're like, how'd you get going? And I'm like, I went door knocking.
Yeah.
Like I was a salesman. I literally was dressed up, shaved, and I was a salesman for almost 6 months before we had enough jobs for me and my landscape guy to continue to work.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to sell it to install it.
Yeah, and you kind of have to install it to sell it when it comes to those like feature-rich inlays and stuff like that. So I'm sure one of the questions that you get all the time, which people are always asking me, is like, how do you get jobs where you're doing all this cool stuff? And my answer is always, well, you kind of have to do the cool stuff first so that people know that you can do it and know to ask for it. People don't like know like, hey, I want a patio, but I want it to be like crazy and have a crazy inlay, unless they're like, I follow you, I saw those other jobs, I want it like that. So I always tell people, you have to kind of build it first. It's hard to sell it and then build it without having something to show people.
It is, but the one thing is 3D designs have came a long ways.
Yeah.
So like
That's definitely true.
So any job over 50 grand, you're mandatory 3D design with us.
Yeah.
It's mandatory because I myself, even if I could do it myself, I wouldn't spend 50 grand on a patio and an outdoor living unless I saw it in a picture like behind us. Like I want to see the color tone. Yes, it's going to be different. Pavers aren't going to be the exact same, right?
Yeah.
But to me, 3D design has helped people that are trying to sell that stuff to be able to sell it. But they have to sell that 3D design. That's hard too.
Yeah.
Like we charge $3,000 to $4,000 for a 3D design. You get
Yeah.
6 to 8 pictures and a 30-second video of your outdoor living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard sell. Like, well, why would I spend that on a $50,000 project? Well, at the long run, we put it in the bid. So at the end, you're really not going to pay for it if you work with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So-
what we do too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how we do it as well.
Yeah.
And do you guys make it mandatory usually for 3D? I mean, most of your jobs are pretty elaborate now, so I feel like
Yeah.
it's mandatory.
Yeah, it's every job.
You have to, yeah. We
Yeah.
do a call, fill out the form, do a consultation call, give them like a general budget based on their ideas, and then it's like, okay, the next step is we'll send you an invoice and you pay for a design, and
And either they go with you or not. And if they
Exactly.
don't go with you and they take it to their contractor goes, we can't recreate this.
yeah,
And then you're like,
yeah,
they're going to come
Yeah.
back to you.
Yep.
Like literally, because there's most contractors around you and around me that aren't going to be able to recreate that art. They say
Yeah.
they're going to, but the customer will see it in their eyes
yeah,
that they're not confident. Like they'll see that first initial look and go, and most times people go, oh, this is Pride's design.
yeah.
Like they-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They know now. Most of the contractors know me around that they're like, okay, this is Pride's design. And whether they can do it or not, that's up to them.
Yeah.
And if you're charging for the design, like I would look at it like we only charge $2,500, and it's we do the same thing. We apply it to the job if you hire us, but I look at it like that portion of it, I'm working as a designer, so we want to get the job, we want to apply it to the end. But at the end of the day, you can take that design and pay $2,500, and you can take it to somebody else and see what they can do. But the real thing that like sets you apart, like the thing that you can look at a Pride job and say, that looks like a Pride job. It's hard to like really quantify or like say like what exactly it is. It's just like everything, the way everything comes together.
It's everything.
So it's hard to like, you could give somebody the plans for one of our jobs and give it to another builder, but there's still like, people will be able to tell that doesn't really look like a premier job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's also, and you're in the field too. So like, you might go, hey guys, I don't like how this is 3 steps. I want to like make this 1 step and then a landing and then another landing. So
Yeah.
like, they're getting the artist too. Like they're getting the person that's gonna like be like stare at it for a minute. Like when we're in the middle of job sites, I'm like, God, why does that design not line up at the corner of the house? We need to cut that back, and we need to line at the corner of the house. So they're not just getting you designing it; they're getting you in the field installing it. And so that design's been in your head for 6-8 months, right?
Yeah.
You're that far booked out, so it really gives you a good feeling that the customer is getting the designer and the installer. And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to downsize now, because my customers love seeing me on the job site, even if it's a couple days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come out right away.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hi, I'm not in a hurry anymore.
Yep.
Right.
I'm able to talk to them, and they go, hey, what about that water feature that you didn't want to do? And during that job, I'm still trying to sell to them
Yeah.
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yep.
You should. It's an opportunity every single time to sell up a client.
Yeah.
They come talk to you.
Yeah.
Are you running more than one job at a time, or are you're one at a time?
I'm doing one at a time,
Yeah.
and then I try to get about a week ahead for the dig outs.
Okay.
So I do all my dig outs with my 7-year-old son.
Yeah. You
Oh,
started
that's
way
cute.
too
Yeah.
late in the industry at 12, so I'm glad that you're.
Yeah, you got him in there.
So we put a little platform. We cut a cast stone tread for the buggy, so he can put an extra 100 pounds on the buggy, so he doesn't tip.
Plus, he's up a little
Plus
higher.
he's up 6 inches, so he can see it. So we do dig outs. He holds my transit stick, my laser. We do the dig outs on the weekends, and then, or at least try to get ahead of the guys. And then when the guys come there, we have gravel and drainage in. So it's like they're showing up to a nice dry job site, no mud on their boots.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cleaner install. You don't need more than 2 guys for a dig out.
Yeah.
Especially with the tilt rotator and all that stuff. Like, you don't need more than 2 guys.
It's pronounced tiltitator.
Tiltator.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah, it's okay. Tiltator.
That's a really cool way to go about it that we definitely don't do. I guess I haven't seen a lot of people do that aren't like a bigger crew. Like a lot of like pool companies, for example, like they have an excavating crew that like all they do is dig, and like so when the installers come, it's dug out. Like it's very segmented, and and that probably helps so much to like. I feel like when you're there, being able to dig it out and not having everyone else there
standing, like you always have that one guy,
and it gets your mental clock running faster. Like, all right, well, what can they do right now?
You start having like, oh, go dig by the downspout because we need to locate it.
Yeah.
But I could do that with the excavator in 1 second, but you're just keeping him busy.
Yeah. And it like keeps you mentally bouncing around. Where if you're just there with your son, it's like you're spending quality family time.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's no hurry.
Yeah, exactly. You're
there. I'm not.
Yep.
I'm a high-paced dude, and I'm literally learning how to chill.
Yeah.
Like relax. It's okay. The customer comes out and talk. It's fine. Like that's why they're paying that steakhouse cost.
Yeah, for the experience.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna charge that and not give them the experience. You're gonna be the asshole contractor that goes, "Get out of the way. We're digging. Get out."
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
They're paying that $50 a square foot or whatever for you to be there.
Yeah.
I do feel like it's half product and half like final product that you're giving them, and it's half experience of while you're there. Everyone that we work with is like, we've never had a contractor experience like this. Like you're like, I know I'm gonna look outside at 8 a.m. and everyone's gonna be there working. Ant's gonna be there at 7:15 sitting in his truck. Way before everyone else for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like,
it's okay. That's good.
Yeah. They're like, I've never had a contractor experience where like, if the homeowner starts to get worried about Ant if he's not there at 7:15, they're like, if I get there at 7:45, they might come out and be like, "Is Ant okay? He wasn't here at 7:15."
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
It's a social media thing. I'm gonna ask you a question on your own podcast.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a client come out to you and go, "Hey, I really love what's going on, but I don't see any cameras up." And I literally had a client tell me that, and I'm like, I look around, I'm like, there's no cameras up. So I went and grabbed my iPhone out of my truck. I have a camera mount, set up a time lapse. That time lapse got 3.5 million views.
Yeah.
At the end of the job, the client goes, "I love my patio so much, but thank you so much for my video."
Yeah.
She goes, "All my friends saw it across the country. I just literally was like, she didn't even care. Like how cool the patio looked, and it was a really cool herringbone. I really liked the entry.
Yep.
And she was more excited about being on the social media. So have you had that with any of your clients yet?
We always literally the only thing I get mad about is if the cameras aren't rolling. That's the only thing that I get upset about.
Yeah.
So the cameras are pretty much always running, but it is. Okay, so we just had Craig on, and now he's walking around with...
No, I wanted that.
Well, he didn't buy it. The clients did. The clients bought it.
The clients bought it, okay.
All right.
She's just walking by to gloat.
Yeah, client's paying for that. Yeah. So anyway, our experience is like the client finds us through social media.
Right.
99.9% of the time. Mm-hmm. It's always like a red flag when they're like, "Oh, you do videos?" I'm like, "That's not how you found us." Okay, this might be.
Yeah.
You might be.
You might not like
Aren't we
this.
supposed to go to that question?
Yeah. So, having them find us through that, they're super excited about, like, Sunday mornings, they know the vlog's going to come out, and they're like, the whole family will watch it together. And like
That's
when
so
we
cool.
left our last job, the wife sent me a picture of her husband standing in the living room watching the first video of our new project, and it's like, I think Ben misses you guys. He's standing up in his living room watching the first video of our next project, like, because it's Sunday morning, and that's for 8 weeks. That's what they did, was watch what we did that week. So
That's
it's
crazy.
like, it lets people, like, if they're not there, if they're at work every day, they get to see what's going on, and it also gives them the peace of mind that, like, there's no corners cut, because everything you could see.
You're showing everything.
Showing it, yeah. So
that's a lot of people like ask me like, well, why do you show so much? I'm like, I want everybody to know, like, I screw up too. I'm real. Like, I want to show you everything. I'll show you how to install this. I'll show you how to do that. But like, it's pretty cool. Also, at the end of the job, we get to give the customer a time lapse.
Yep.
Of their whole project, so they don't only have that memory for 40 years in their backyard. They have it visually and also on a little, card, whatever file.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They can go watch their whole project start to finish come to life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's the coolest thing that social media has brought to my clients.
Yeah.
The start to finish, like seeing it happen, coming in the first day, they're going, oh my God, there's 3 excavators here.
Yeah.
There's dump trucks going everywhere. Our yard is tore up. And then 3 weeks later, they're going, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that whole process from start to finish, and hear them say that, like, you guys are so efficient, and getting those 5-star Google reviews.
Yeah.
Those are huge. It's just nice to see their reaction, and also they expect that too from you, because again, you are. I'll use that stick. I keep saying it. Like, I mean, like, they expect that from you. So, and it's good you bring it. So I love your work. It's awesome.
Right back at you.
Yeah, you too.
Sales.
I feel like I've been talking the whole time, so I'm just like, I'm giving you pause to.
No,
if
you're
you wanna
fine.
Say anything, because I'm
Catherine,
just.
are you
I
here?
feel like I feel like Sean usually gets to vibe with people when he feels like they're very similar to him, and I think he just realized that you guys are very similar. So he's really
similar.
No, we're gonna. Like I
Really
said,
cutting
I was
it up.
talking to you earlier about, like, I really honestly am considering doing a traveling my motorhome.
Yeah.
I really, if my crew, where are you at, if you guys listening, hopefully the next year or two you can run the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And I want to go travel in the motorhome and just like go work for all these companies I know for a month.
Yeah.
And just go video and just go have fun. And I homeschool my kids, so it's like they'd be traveling across the country with me. Like, I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be great.
that'd be amazing for content. You would get so much. That'd be amazing.
yeah.
I know. Like, literally
Make a
have
whole show out
a
of
wrap motorhome. Like, on like Hardscape Road show, whatever, dude. Like, literally just like wrap the whole motorhome,
That'd be cool.
the trailer, and just go, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they're meant to do. So.
Well, you're invited to our job site anytime, and it sounds like
Absolutely.
You have to get a tilt rotator, though.
We're
No.
I'm not gonna buy
yeah,
it. The clients are.
The client,
That's
you're gonna.
what Craig said.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I'm not
get you
buying
on a SK 1550 first, and a smaller excavator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect.
Fine with that.
So Catherine does not have to keep hand stacking down pallets,
It's the worst thing. It's the worst thing to do.
because then you gotta and then you're gonna go move it and lift
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
things again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we only have to, like, do 4 trips off the pallet before we can finally pick up the pallet when it only has 2 layers left on it. So it doesn't take us like an hour to move 1 pallet at all. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah. We
By
need
the way,
a
his
skid steer.
facial expression is really
Yeah.
effective there.
Really convincing.
Yeah.
We need a skid steer. We need to be able to
Yeah.
move full pallets, and
100%.
an excavator. I think like I haven't thought about an excavator as much, just because like I don't have that much experience running it, but I feel like it's one of those things that like once we
That's how you
have
get
it,
the experience.
it's
Yeah.
like
So
there's going to be so many, like, we're not seeing all the uses for it now because like we don't have it on site, and we haven't rented an excavator. But I feel like once we have it, it's going to be like we're going to be doing everything with it.
Yeah, but also, you guys don't have big access. I've seen like
Yeah.
your job
Yeah.
sites. They're not.
It's
I've had
tight.
a couple
Yeah.
okay access, right?
Most
But like
of them are
they're pretty tight.
fairly tight, yeah.
Yeah, so no matter what, you're always going to take out a fence post, right?
Yep.
That's the $500 quote
Yep.
in the bid, 1 fence post reinstalling. Like,
Yeah.
that's what we do too. But the SK 1550, in my experience, going back to day one, I brought the first excavator I bought was 10,000 pound machine.
Yeah.
It was too big,
Yeah.
hands down. Like, I
Yeah.
literally put 145 hours on it in 2 years. But the one that I bought a month later was a 4,000 pound machine. That thing will lift up 700 pound rocks.
That's heavy.
4,000 pound machine, and then also that new boom extension we have with it will lift a 100-pound paver 15 feet out.
Yeah, I saw that. That
looked really
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that attachment from CMP was only $1,400.
That also, like, seeing it in that application, it's like, it makes you think, what's the alternative if you don't have that machine?
Oh.
How are you going to get up there?
You want to know what we thought about this? We like literally thought of my crew like, how are we going to do this job? Like 2 months before that.
Yeah.
We're having our walkthrough because we're about 3 or 4 months out. We're having a walkthrough, which now that I've downsized, I can do walkthroughs with my guys. That's amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
That was the biggest. So when they go there now, they're like, we know what we're doing. Let's
go.
I think that's what I learned on that job was like, holy crap, this is the first time a walkthrough really worked because that job was the most efficient. It was a 40% profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I literally, so like having that walkthrough, but when those guys get that in that walkthrough, the 4,000-pound machine, there's no way that we could have done that job. We would have been lifting with 2 hands. We would have been placing it on the lower wall, lifting it up. And some of those blocks weigh 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like in that grabbo, it was one grabbo lifting all that stuff.
Yeah.
Those grabbos are absolutely amazing. And if you guys have grabbo problems, by the way, they redid their battery pin.
Okay.
I don't know. You guys use them?
No. We should, though. We'll get one.
I'll try to get you a free one at the booth. I'll try to get you a free one at the booth really quick, dude. I'll buy you one, dude. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah, like, but those machines, and they just made one for dry cast.
Really? I heard that they were going to come out with one of those.
Those, like, because you guys are doing a lot more porcelain now too, right? Trying to sell more.
Yep.
They are great for porcelain.
Yeah.
Like absolutely great. Because are you dry setting or are you mortar setting?
We did a wet set on a trass bed, and then we did like a hybrid dry set. So we haven't full dry set yet. We did 3/4 or 3/8 chipstone setting bed, and then back buttered with the Elutriant, and then set it. So it was kind of a hybrid installation. We want to try a dry install.
Yeah.
The Scheller does dry install.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
I have not, but we have our 2024 jobs. Our first jobs are all 18 by 48 porcelain. So
that's big.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have machines.
Yeah.
My guys, that wall you saw we built.
Yep.
They didn't sweat.
Yeah.
There was not one sweat dropped on that job site for 3.5 weeks in the 80-degree weather.
That's nice.
So like that was
sounds so efficient.
One of my workers came to me. He's like, "Hey, I have to work out now because I started working for you."
Yeah.
His workout was the layer part. He's like, "Dude, I've gained 10 pounds since starting with you."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You're preaching to the choir, dude.
Yeah.
Just wait till you get older. You're only 27 years old."
Yep.
So.
How long have we been going? Are we?
We are timed for our bad sales story. If you guys are ready.
Time for our bad sales story.
Yeah.
You got one for us?
I do.
Okay. Bad sales story brought to you by Groundwork and Evan Newcombe from Pod Hardscape.
All right.
Like a boxer.
Boxer.
Yeah.
Announcement. That's why I named my son Nash for that announcement. Nash Newcombe. You know, good baseball.
That is a great
baseball name.
Yes, that is. That's great.
I love it.
Coming to the mound, Nash Newcombe.
Yeah. My sales story. First off, guys, I'll start out with sales is when there's a red flag, stop. I'll just start out with that. Like, honestly.
That's just good advice. Like, so many people are just like, that seems like a red flag, but let's go.
It's okay to say no. Like, that's a huge thing. My huge one was first job I bid over $100,000. So it was our third year in, so 2.5 years ago. We did a 3D design. She loved it. Everything was great. She actually gave a 10% deposit down without even signing a contract. So this is where my story starts to get bad. Never take a deposit money without the contract signed.
Yeah.
I was kind of caught off guard because she was just like, let's do this. Let's get on it. I'm on board.
Yeah.
And my biggest fault was always make sure the husband and wife are together. So when you're giving a bid, when you're doing anything like that, make sure they're together. And make sure they're making decisions together. So I got the bid. I got the contract. I pre-ordered some materials, you know, and I'm like, oh, dude, like she never even signed the contract. This is a month later. So my mind's just kind of, I was really busy at that time. So I pre-ordered all the materials. Cast stone, actually, when you pre-order this certain color, there's no refund.
Yeah.
Came to it a week later. She calls me. She's like, Evan, I'm like, hey, have you signed the contract yet? Like, she's like, I'm going to have to ask for that deposit back.
Ooh.
And awkward silence for probably felt like 10 minutes was 30 seconds only.
Yeah.
I just paused.
Yeah.
Like, okay, Miss Jones. It's not her name, but Miss Jones, I'm sorry to hear this. What's going on? Like, what happened? Like, you were so excited. Well, my husband says your prices are ridiculous. And I'm like, well, that's a good thing. Do you want to budget back? Like, do you want to, it could be a 3-phase project. Like, we can still do this. And I haven't told her that I've pre-ordered material yet. So, so then it comes down like, no, I need my 10% back. I need my $10,000 back. I'm like, okay. So I go back and then I call my dealer, and this is when I found out I can't get my $18,000 deposit back for my pavers. So long story short, I ate it.
Yeah.
I took all the pavers. I still have 4 pallets from that.
Oh, no.
I sold a lot of it.
Yeah.
I sold a lot of it. I got a lot of my money back, but those 4 pallets, we're using 1 tread here and there.
Yeah.
So my thing is don't get too eager on a job. Make sure that contract is signed.
Yeah.
Just because you think she can write a $10,000 check does not mean she can cover the whole $100,000 project without her husband's permission.
Yeah.
So that's that was my huge learning lessons from that is I do not ever even, honestly, when I get that 10%, I don't even think about ordering materials until I get the rest of the 30% that pays for those materials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just holds them in the spot now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in a little bank, don't even look at it. It's not there.
Yep.
I literally put that $10,000 and I literally ate probably total about $6,000, which isn't that much, but like I didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
And it took you a while to like recoup that.
Yeah.
Have to think, okay, well now I need to sell some of these papers because I have them.
It was embarrassing to also to tell my vendor.
Yeah.
That was almost like a ego blow to me. Like,
yeah.
Wow, like that was stupid. Like, what was I thinking? But like in all reality, like I can't control that. So now on my appointments, I make sure husband and wife is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to be there together. And also, because then you're not going back and forth. Like, oh, Rick wants this. Oh, Diane wants this.
Yeah.
No, you guys are all together. You're making those decisions together. So
Yeah, definitely.
Because we've had a lot of instances where, I'll just talk with, say, the husband, and then, he's like, gives me the whole thing over a phone call and then do the design. And it's like, turns out after seeing the thing, my wife had like a ton of other ideas that like, it could have been simplified if they were just both on the call initially. So it definitely goes both ways, and you don't know like what the communication is. Like I just assume like, if this was at my house, like I would, well, my wife would probably disagree. I probably wouldn't communicate well with her.
I have to communicate big purchases though. That's it. When it comes to that, you automatically assume big purchases. There's going to be conversations.
Yeah. $100,000. Yeah. You would think, all right. Yeah, I would communicate that with my wife.
Yeah.
In other aspects, she'd probably say I'm not the best communicator, but
when I bought my excavator, it was $100,000 because she's like, "Why is it so expensive?" Well, it's got this spinny thing.
Yeah,
it like spins around.
It's really
she's
cool.
like, "You can go buy one for $60." I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't do this." And so like, like that was a decision we made together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's so it was definitely a life learning lesson, and I've told that story a couple times. But yeah, definitely get that contract signed before you even think about it. And that 10% should be just hidden and gone.
Yeah.
Like that should be like not even touched till like after the project almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's your little piggy.
Yeah.
So
we've had similar experiences with people like being super excited and being like, usually we've done a design and we're still tweaking some things. We're still figuring out some details. And they're like, well, let me just give you the 10% now. We'll figure out those details later. And I'm like, let's figure out all the details. Let's get all of this buttoned up so that I don't have to say, all right, well, you want that, it's going to be more, and they feel like, oh, I put the deposit down. It's like, we want every bit of this project figured out so that both of us know what we're getting into before you make this decision. So I always say, I know it's exciting. I know you want to get on the schedule. Just give me a couple days. I'll make those changes that we want to see.
Yep.
And let's button this up before we move forward because it's just going to open up problems later.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
streamline your sales process with Groundwork.
Yes.
And you can get 50% off your first 2 months by using code Hardworking Happy Hour 50.
Yep.
Love it.
We could honestly talk for forever.
know.
Do you want to just go like Joe Rogan style and go for like 6 hours until they literally kick
Dude,
us
I
out
literally
of here?
I got
To the end of
lost
the
in one of
show?
his podcasts the other day.
Yeah.
I literally was like looking down. I was like, oh my God, I've been listening to this for an hour and 15 minutes on this drive. And I'm like, what did he even talk about? Like, he started talking about like the Romes, the this. And I'm like, he was just like all over the board. I love that podcast though.
Yeah.
The AI generated one's a little weird.
That's not a full episode, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, but that's a little weird to
Yeah.
hear his voice in AI. And like
I know.
That
It's scary. It's scary because
I didn't
my
even look at that.
voice and face, like, if they can make it, well, I mean, his is way more out there, but like, there's enough footage and audio of me to make an AI version of me, which is
It's
scary.
weird.
Definitely. Yeah.
You don't really need that much. You can probably just do it with like a picture and like a little audio clip.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like, I mean, I don't.
They're pretty
Spooky.
real looking. That it's like, yeah.
Did you see the one of Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
He just posted it and it's like, "Hi, I'm Ed" or something.
Yeah.
But it was,
yeah.
I forget what it
I
was.
forget what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was really, and it was like,
Looks and sounds
Yeah.
it was kind of creepy.
like
Like
Super
how
creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how real it is.
yeah.
Yeah. So how this is your second year here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Second year. Are you guys gonna come back every year? Or what do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
I think
it's a great show.
it is, and like I mean the social media thing is like I think for the tool wise and equipment wise and like what's new out, I think every other year.
Yeah.
For people that are in it for that, like in the green industry every other year, but like for people in the social media wanting to like meet people this and that and learning stuff, it's an every year event. I mean we're a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
We're all like it's a far journey for us, but
Yeah.
and bringing your crew,
Yep.
like honestly, like whether your crew does or doesn't want to go, like
Make them.
make them.
Force
Like
them.
literally, like
Kidnap them.
my guys are here. They've said thank you to me so many times.
Yeah.
And one of my crew members hasn't seen his mom for like 10 years now. He moved from Indiana to Oregon.
Yeah.
Hasn't seen his mom or sister for 10 years. He's like, hey, do you care if I change my flight and like stay here for a couple more days? I'm like, yeah. Like you
Yeah.
really haven't seen, and they're Hispanic family, so
Yeah.
family's really important. So like
Yeah.
they're throwing a big old fiesta for him today. Like it's
Oh,
awesome.
That's
That's
amazing.
Like, and I'm like, well, dude, if you come every year, then
Yeah.
you're gonna see your
Yeah.
mom every year.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like, and it's also a good break for us before like the last final push of like Project Before Christmas,
Yeah.
like getting that final one done.
Yeah.
It's a good breaking point.
I think,
Yeah.
we always like, we walk around, we see like a couple things that we might not have seen otherwise, like, but most of the cool stuff that's here, like you see, you're using a ton of equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I might see you using equipment or
Mhm.
like somebody else is using something else. So a lot of stuff like we've seen before,
Yeah.
we see it online, but you might get a couple of those new things that are really cool, but it's all about like just like connecting with people that you already know or like haven't met in person yet and want to, but like you just leave these like feeling like recharged and like re-energized.
Yeah,
about
dude,
like
energized, dude,
like,
100%.
you're excited to go back and like, all right, I was just with my people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
my patio
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and let's go lay some
Dude.
pavers.
Yeah,
I
the
had
other
one-
people in your life don't really care that much
Yeah,
when you
they're
talk
like,
about
"Shut
patios.
up
They're like,
about the
I
patios,
don't care
please."
about
Well,
concrete
I'm a
anymore.
patio
Please stop
daddy-o.
talking.
Or the
Talk to him.
the only deck guy running around. Do you see that one? It looks like the OnlyFans. It says only decks. He
Yeah.
used the only.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Kevin.
Yep.
who's
Yeah,
that?
Kevin.
Yeah.
Showcat
Yeah.
from
Oh
Raven.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I literally was
Yeah.
like, I was staring at it for like half an hour. Like, is
Yeah.
that real? Like, is that actually?
And his
real?
other one just says big deck energy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. That was a good
Yeah.
one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike, like I said, the guys coming here, I think it's great to have, and also it's it's nice to have all of this, like like doing the random podcasts and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much social media I thought I was gonna like. It was a lot. This is my first year of actually being like noticed. Last year I was with Andy hanging out, and like now I kind of felt like how Andy, like how we like first thing we ran out to the equipment in the morning and ducked our heads and just ran equipment. Like
Yeah.
now I kind of know why he did that.
Yeah.
Like but also it made it really nice. Actually, the other day some guy came up to me, didn't even know him, and he goes, "I just want to say you changed my life." I was like, I got like all quiet, serious like
Yeah.
moment. He's
Yeah.
like, "I just want to say you said something like you can't buy back time," or said something like that. He goes, I listened to your podcast over and over again. And he's like, I changed. I went from a 10-man crew to a 2-man crew. I have the best relationship with my wife, my kids, and my whole life.
Yeah.
He goes, I just want to thank you. And like to hear that, like that makes me, just that one comment makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Like that one person, if I can just change that one outlook on someone, or like having them convincing to buy this tool for their employees not to break their back.
Yep.
That means the world to me. And that's why I do it. I mean,
you never know when like just that one thing that you say is like that one person needed to just hear it.
Yeah.
You know, it might be like something so simple that you say or that I say, but it just like, you know, I've had those moments where I listen to something and it's like, I needed to hear that right now. Like I needed that message right now. I connected with that. So, you know, it's for the most part, we're just out trying to build cool stuff and having fun.
We're normal
guys. You
guys.
never know when like, you know, something is going to hit somebody and like really give them a new outlook and be like, let me reassess what I'm doing with my business and with my life and like trying to figure out that balance, because that's
it goes the same way too. Like I hear that stuff all the time. You know, like I hear it on, like you said, but again, we're just a small guys doing small business. We're just like you.
Yeah.
Like everybody thinks like, and also everybody does social media, like think it's easy. They have to know, like, if you want to do this, it's a job.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're lucky. You get to go do this, this, and that. Like, yeah, but I work my ass off. I put 30 to 40 hours in just social media a week, and we're not even that big.
Yeah.
Like, on it. Like, we don't have a YouTube. We just have a couple channels, you know? Like, so it takes a lot of effort to do it. And, you know, some people are like, you know, you get those hater comments, and you get frustrated at first. At first, I, like dug in with them. I started, like, going back. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I'm literally stooping down to a 12-year-old level. Yeah. And, like, where I could just go spend my time doing a design or helping my employees or something like that. So, like, that's a huge thing of social media, too, is, like, those comments, you're just going to get them.
Yeah.
I mean, some people call me lazy on my comments. Like, you're lazy. You don't even lay pavers anymore. Well, you're right. I don't lay pavers. You're right. I'm not good at laying pavers, but I lay a lot of other stuff, and I do a lot of other things.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's okay that criticism helps you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really good at tuning that out. So I just, and most, like, I just really hate when it's just, like, not even creative. When it's not even creative, like, hateful comments. Yeah. When it's creative, I'm like,
ooh, that was good.
That was fun.
Hilarious.
That was good.
That was
a good one. He got me there.
Yeah, he got me there like, damn.
Called me a douchebag for wearing a backwards hat and a dumb vest. I'll admit it. Yeah. I would probably think the same thing if I was watching this video. Okay.
I wear backward hats all the time. It's okay. And my hair comes out the front like a doofus, like right up like a flip thing. Yep. Yeah, it's okay.
We can own it. We can own it, and you know, I think we don't take ourselves too seriously when it comes to that stuff. So
I got a question for you, Catherine.
Yes.
How do you like the industry?
I love it. It was so unexpected, like coming from such a buttoned-up commercial real estate world, and I knew I was gonna like it, but I didn't expect to love it. And now I could never go back to like an office job or anything. And I love.
Good job.
And even when I took the job that I have now, I wasn't on site. I was working from home. I was just doing back end stuff, and then I had the opportunity where I was like, I want to get out there. I want to lay pavers. I want to learn how to do everything that we do. I want to know how to do every single thing so I can talk in an educated way about these things. And then I genuinely enjoyed doing it. So I love the days where I'm like, I don't feel like being on the computer anymore. I'm going to go outside and help whoever needs help, or
how cool
I'm
is
going
that?
to
Like,
do the
get out your
patio
stress,
or,
get out your what? I mean, like, literally, like when you're like, you stare at a computer for an hour or so, like it's cool, but at the same time, like to be able to go like do an hour or two in the office and then go hop out in the field and like get your boots dirty and like sling some stuff. Like it's great to see women in the industry too. I follow Weston. What's her Western Landscape?
Jess,
I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I honestly like her.
I just found out that we have the exact same birthday, like date and year.
Up.
Yeah.
What?
I know. I was like, you're my new best friend, so.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Awesome. Wait, when's your birthday?
I'm a Gemini, June 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also a Gemini.
Sean was hoping really.
I know.
What are the chances? No, but I just love hearing that having women in the industry, I think, is great.
Yeah.
I honestly do, because one of the things is also you guys bring the soft side. Mm-hmm. So hardscapes are cool, right? I forgot to bring this up, but I think what's helped me in the hardscape industry is my landscape industry taking care of those $1 million homes for 20 years.
Yeah.
Seeing the plants, seeing the flow, seeing how one of my clients, they waited to install their pathway at their houses until they watched where their kids ran. So they killed all the grass, like literally, they just planted grass everywhere, waited a whole year, and they saw where their dogs and their kids were going. And then they put concrete curve paths in.
That's pretty cool.
And
That
then
is
they
cool,
then
yeah.
they built around the paths.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. I think that's really helped me is like bringing that softscape is like bringing that because you have to have softscape with hardscape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got to bring in that wood,
Yep.
that plant, that bark. There's got to be 3-dimensional colors.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge part that's helped me.
Yeah.
But I think it's great that women are in the industry, and I think it helps us out a bunch. I
Yeah.
think it's awesome.
I feel like it brings a different perspective, and I think that like I'm always, my big thing is like, oh, that kid's gonna like hit their knee on that thing, and Sean's like, oh, I said it all the time. You're like, that doesn't.
That
but
looks
it's
like a knee knocker.
Yeah, I said it all the time. So it just brings a different perspective to like things that you might not think of, or like bringing
Yeah.
women in. It just
and
is
I'm sure your
naturally-
clients I'm sure the clients like seeing actually a woman on the job site
Yeah.
too. Like I'm just saying, like it makes them a lot of my followers. 20% of my followers are women.
Yeah.
So like, and I think that's
I can
because
see why.
I think that's because my wife. I think it's because my wife, like bringing that little, like my last few reels, she hasn't been helping out so much, so it's more like a manly touch. But she brings that feminist to it, to where it makes like a girl feels like they can actually watch it and be involved and not like get like, oh, this is boring watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
What
it just
did,
brings a balance to it.
What did Sheena say to you? I felt like that was like, I don't know, felt like a big moment. Or she said to me about you.
Yeah, she said it to you, but they have 2 boys, 2 sons that are younger, and she was like, I just love that a woman is out here showing that like these little boys are going to grow up thinking that women are in construction. Like they had
Awesome.
this job done at their house when they were a kid, and they're going to remember that, and they're going to they don't think like, oh wow, there's a woman contractor there. That's just a woman there working. Like
Yeah.
they're
It's
growing
teaching
up
them respect.
learning that.
It's
yeah.
respecting that. Like, look,
Like
a
yeah,
woman,
that's just normal to them.
a woman
They-
does not have to be
Yeah.
a stay-at-home mom. Like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
wife is a stay-at-home mom. She homeschools. She has a job. She takes care of us too. Like, it's everything. And
Yeah.
she'll go out and flip and pull weeds with me and get dark and like pull bark and whatever it is. Like she'll be out there with me. So like, it's great to see that. And that's awesome
Yeah.
that the kids will see that too because
Yeah.
they're like, wow, like a woman can do this stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's powerful. And like
Yeah.
you're not like, and you're not, you're in shape. It's awesome to see someone out there actually lifting and doing it, not just filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's cool, and that's why I like the Western Lane. I love her. Like
Yeah.
I think it's great. And
Yes.
she does great work too.
She does.
She's
She
been
does.
in the industry her whole life, right?
Yeah, I think it's her family owns like another maybe like an excavating company
Excavation
or
company,
something,
yeah.
and then she kind of branched off and started doing landscaping, and then branched into hardscaping. So
She was raised
she's
to it.
really she's really impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
awesome.
So. And she'll talk to you about tools, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she knows her stuff.
More women, please.
More, yeah.
Well,
more-
when you say it like that, it's
Not
that did not sound right.
that sounded a little
For
weird,
the
but-
industry.
industry. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Sean, we're not going to end it on that note.
yeah,
but
don't get us canceled.
Give
right
us
now,
another. Give us another.
give us
Less
another one.
women, please. No, not that either.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, man.
I love what you guys do. Keep doing it and keep making the industry achieve bigger goals.
You too.
Yeah,
push
you
us,
as
push
well.
the limits.
We'll have to get some machinery for that, so we appreciate.
Well, you're gonna.
We've
I
been
got that
pushed
SK1550
so
coming for
hard.
you.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, get machinery, you idiot, get.
I'm gonna find out when that.
excavator."
I'm gonna find out when that SK15 is arriving, and I'm gonna DM you and be like, all right, it's gonna be here in a week, and this is how much shipping's gonna cost.
Well, I literally just before the podcast signed a contract on a new home, so with land, so I'll be able to get
Dual use it.
what?
Be dual using.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I
Can you
And
write?
replace
You,
the
can
key.
you
I
still write it
called
off?
about a pole barn like before the offer was even like fully accepted. Like,
So
guys
is your shop gonna be? Are you gonna have the yard out there?
Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's gonna be sick.
Awesome.
So machinery everywhere. It's gonna be sick. Tiltitator. I'm gonna ride the excavator to work. It's gonna be awesome. So we'll update you on that next time.
Yeah.
We'll have you out at our house
Yeah.
land with all the excavators.
Definitely.
It's gonna be like an excavator museum. It's gonna be sick. So what do we say at the end? Till next time. This has been the Hardworking
There you
Happy
go.
Hour.
See you next week.